Hey y'all. So this is the second activity, practice with symbols, function transformations. We're going to skip to slide 3. Now for this first one here, what you're going to do is you're going to type in f of x and then try what they say here. So type it the same way that they wrote here, f of x, parentheses, and then plus 2 at the end. A way that you can check is you can hit enter or submit and it'll put another black line. And if it matches, then it shows that it works. Going to number 4 here, we're going to play around with this. So they say try a few things here. So first, we're going to try the first one, f of parentheses x, close the parentheses, plus 3. We're going to hit submit, and we can see that the line moves up 3 spaces. So that's not exactly what we want. We want it to move to the left. Excuse me. So let's try the next one, f of x, parentheses, x minus 2, and let's hit submit. So we're getting close. We're moving to the left, but we only move 2 spaces, so we're going to have to put a different number here. Let's try 3. Nope, 3 is not going to work. 4, nope. Let's try 1, closer. Okay, how about 0? Cool. So 0 is going to work for this one, and just playing around with it will help you get to that answer. Moving on to slide number 6. Now we're going to use what we just learned to help us figure this out. Now for the first one, we have a red graph down here, and it looks like it's down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shifted to the left 1, 2, 3. And how I know that it's down 5 spaces and shifted to the left is I'm looking at one point on this original black graph. So I'm looking at this point here, and I'm looking at where it is on the red line. And if I take a look, it's 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. Okay, so I'm going to start with my parent function, f of x, and I know that it's going to move down. So I'm going to put a minus at the end, and we know it moves down 5 spaces. So I'm going to put minus 5. Okay, but then we have to shift it to the left 1, 2, 3 spaces. And to shift it to the left, if you remember from the previous slides, we're going to have to put a plus here, and I'm going to put a 3 because I know it's going to shift to the left 3 spaces, and as you can see, it works here. Okay. For the other ones, we're going to start with f of x as well. F of x, f of x, f of x, and you're going to do that exact same thing, right? You're going to see if it moves up or down, left or right, and you're going to have to add either a plus or a minus here, and then a plus or a minus to the end of the function. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do purple. Okay, so purple, it looks like it just moves up, and I'm going to look at my parent function here and figure out how many spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to move up 6 spaces, which means I just put a plus and a 6 at the end. Okay, these other, I think everything, the orange and the blue will have 2 things happening, just like the red one did. The green is just going to have 1 thing happening that you have to change in this function. All right, slide 8. Okay, so they want you to try putting a 2 in front of the f of x. So just write it like that, and you'll see that it stretches and it gets taller and skinnier. For number 9 here, this is a challenge. What they want you to do is a few things. Now, for number 9, if we're going to change it from the black to the red line here, we're going to start with our parent function f of x, but we're going to have to change it by either putting a number in front or a number with a value of between 0 and 1. So a number less than 1 but greater than 0. Okay, and it looks like the first number I put in was 0.5 or a half, and that seemed to work. Okay, you might also have to change these functions so that they move up or down. So a few of these might ask you to do something like add 2 to it, add 5, right, if we're going to move that one. You might also have to change the function by putting a number with the x, okay? The last thing here is for the blue and purple, put a negative sign to make it reflect over the